Alright, Math Finance. Here's a little video for you guys for your two assignments. The first one is just markups and markdowns. So, this is a review again from things we've done this year. So during this year, we use these two equations to do markups and markdowns. Okay, MU means markup. Okay, the other one, MD, means markdown. Okay, so what we're going to do is to find a markup and a markdown, and you're trying to find the final price, is you're going to do P, which is your initial price, and then you're going to do plus that same initial price times the change. And when I say the change, I mean the percent change as a decimal. Okay, so using this equation, we're going to do this first example real quick. Pretty simple. I have a $600 TV. I marked it up 20%. Okay, and I need to find the final price. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to use our first equation. We have a markup. Okay, and I'm going to use my price is 600, as the problem says, plus 600 times, again, it is 20%, but we got to move the decimal 2 spots to the left and change it to a decimal. Okay, can't use a percent because then you're going to get this TV super expensive, right? It's going to be like, I don't even know, $1,800 or something. No, $18,000 or something like that. All right, so we don't want that. Make sure you're using decimal, so it's 0.20. Okay, so once you've done that, hopefully you got a calculator that can do this. I'm sure your phone calculator would suffice, honestly. They're not crazy numbers. So when you put this in your calculator, you get, I'm going to do it step by step. So 600 times 0.2 is 120. So in the end, my final markup price is $720. Okay, that's our final price. And then I give one markdown problem. So same thing, we're doing markdown. Again, original price of $5,400 on this car, but instead of adding this change, we're going to subtract it because we're marking it down. But I'm still going to do the price times, in this case, 10%. Again, my decimal's right here right now. I move them two times to the left. That gets me 0.10. And then you're going to go to your handy dandy calculator and figure out that 5,400 times 0.1 is 540. So basically, I'm marking down my price $540. So if the question asks you what was the discount, well, this right here is your discount, which I didn't ask you that, but in case you get asked in the future, that's my discount. But my total price after the discount is $4,860. Okay, that's how you do markups and markdowns. Okay, use these two equations right here. Right, star things that are important. Those two equations for markups and markdowns. And the next one was your paycheck calculator. Okay, we did this for a little bit during the year. Remember we talked about like overtime, regular time. Remember overtime is 1.5 times your original pay. So if your original pay is 10 and you work overtime hours, you're going to get paid $15 for those hours. Holidays are double time usually. I mean, that's just an assumption. Some places don't give you double time, but we're going to assume for our purposes you do get 2 times your original pay. So instead of 10, you'd get paid $20 if you worked a holiday. Remember, state tax, we're going to use 4.5%, Social Security 6.2%, Medicare 1.45. Remember, the tax system, the federal taxes are stepped, right? Remember, the first step is like 10%, the next step is like 12%, the next one's like 15%, 20, 25, I don't know, something like that. That may be wrong. But remember, you don't always get taxed the same percentage, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that we've made over $10,000. Okay, because once you've made $10,000 in a single year, this is your next tax bracket that you fall in, and you fall into it till you make 40 grand. Okay, so we're just going to pretend like we've made between 10 and 40 grand up until this point, and our federal tax rate is 12%. So basically on these problems, you just need to figure out what your gross pay is. So that's just how much you got paid, including all of your hours. Okay, so that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with our gross pay. All right, and then over, let's just go ahead and do that. John gets paid $12 an hour during his current 2-week pay period. He works 80 regular hours. So he worked 80 hours, and he gets paid $12 an hour. Okay, so he gets $960 for those hours. But he's not done. He worked 6 overtime hours. So 6 hours times, again, if he got paid $12 for regular hours, if you want to figure it out, you multiply 12 times 1.5. Okay, and you get $18. Oh, that's, what am I writing? That's his overtime pay. Okay, he gets $18 an hour. So for those 6 hours, he got paid $18. That's an extra $108 on the check. Wait, he also worked 4 holiday hours. So if we're assuming he's getting double time for his holiday hours, that means his holiday pay is going to be 12 times 2. So he gets $24 an hour for those. So he worked, what did we say, 4 hours? 4 holiday hours. And he got $24 an hour for those. Come on, pen. And that's $96, I think, yeah. Okay, so those are his gross pays. His regular pay, overtime, double time. So in all, his total gross pay is $1,164. Okay, so that's his gross. Now, that's the first part. Now you got to find his net pay. That means we got to take out a bunch of taxes. So the first one we're going to take out is going to be state tax. So for his state, we're going to do how much he has times the state tax rate. Now it's 4.5%, so 0.045. We'll come back and do that here in a sec. And then we had Social Security. That's how much we have, how much we got paid, times 0.062. Then I have Medicaid, or Medicare, and it's times 0.0145. And then we have federal. My phone's ringing. Get away from me. Okay, Fed, we're going to do the 1164 times 0.12. So we need to figure out all of these numbers. So 1164 times 0.045. We get 5238. And then 1164 times 0.062. We get 72. Round up to the second decimal place. So this is 71 or 72.168. That's 72.17. And then is money times Medicare. And this is going to be 1688. And then finally is Fed tax. Should be the largest of them all because it is 12%. Is $139.68. So his total tax liability is what this is called for this paycheck, is all of these taxes added together. So if I add all these together, he owes, well, he doesn't owe, he's going to get taken out of his check $281.11. Now that's just his liability, right? So now you're going to take your gross pay minus taxes. So we get 1164 minus our 281.11. In the end, his net pay is going to be $882.89. So that's his net. Okay, so again, gross pay is before taxes, so just add up all the money you've made from regular hours, overtime hours, double time hours, and then your net pay, you got to take away all the taxes. Okay, so I took away every single one of those. I had to find how much it was, so you take how much you grossed times the percent as a decimal, and then in the end, find your tax liability and subtract it. So one more that's not like hours only, like this one says Kyle's a realtor. So we're going to find his gross pay first. He doesn't work hours. I mean, he works hours, but he doesn't get paid for the hours. Right, he gets paid $1,200 a month, but gets an extra $800 for each house he sells. So in the month of March, he sold 4 homes. Determine his monthly pay. So his salary, which we'll call that S, is $1,200. So he gets that no matter what. He don't have to sell a house. But he sold some houses, so we'll call that H's. He sold houses. He sold 4 houses, and he gets $800 for each one he sells. So 4 times 800. Dang, that's an extra $3,200. Not bad. So in the end, his gross pay is going to be $1,200 plus $3,200 because he gets his salary plus his commission on the houses. So he gets $4,400 a month in gross pay. And then we go over here, and we're going to find his net pay. So net pay time. So, again, we got to do it all. He has $4,400, so we need to do state. So that's 4,400 times 0.045. And then we need Social Security. So it's 4,400, you may hear my cat in the background, times 0.062. And then we do Medicare. So we do the 4,400 times 0.0145. Remember, these are our percents from the beginning up here. And I'm changing them to decimals. And then finally, Fed tax. He gets 4,400 times 0.12. And then we're going to do all this multiplication. So 4,400 times 0.045, that's $198. 4,400 times 0.062, that's $272.80. 4,400 times 0.0145 for Medicare, that's $63.80. And then his federal tax rate, which is 0.12, so he owes $528. So, in the end, his total tax liability that we're going to have to take out of his check. Dang, that's tough. $1,062.60. Okay, so that's how much we're going to take out of his check. So his net pay is going to equal his gross pay minus his tax liability. So in the end, he's going to net $3,337.40. Oh, my video went too long. No.